So behind me here is a papaya tree. Not too out of the ordinary if you're somewhere that's got warm weather, but what you might not know is that there are parts of the papaya tree that you can eat that a lot of people don't realize you could eat. Of course, you can eat ripe papaya as a fruit. A lot of people don't like it. Put a little lime on it if you don't like it. You can eat the seeds. When I was in Madagascar, I actually saw people selling big bushels of it at a spice market. Here are professionally dried papaya seeds for sale as a spice. I tried one and it tastes like black pepper a little bit, like a little spicy. So that's pretty interesting to see it for sale. It also can sometimes be used as a medicine. People use it as a way to get rid of worms. Unripe papaya is edible. That is used in papaya salads. If you go to Thailand and other parts of Southeast Asia, papaya salads are very popular. That uses the shredded green papayas. It's just like a nice combination of sweet, spicy, salty, savory, what else is there? Sour. Everything is just like kind of combined in there. The ones on this particular plant are very small. I don't think you'd want to use those, but when they get a little bit bigger and green, you can prepare that. Also, green papayas can be used as a meat tenderizer. So many uses. But let's go further. Here's something that I didn't know about. You can eat papaya blossoms. The papaya flowers I've seen a few different places. That's pretty common here. They take papaya flowers here and they prepare it like a vegetable. And I've never heard of that. I didn't realize this was a thing. And I'm really curious about it. I have no idea what it's going to taste like though. So I feel like it's going to be like a really floral kind of tasting thing. Just smells like vegetables. Kind of like spinach. I smell garlic in there. Oh yeah, that is bitter. That is very, very bitter, but it's good. It feels like I'm eating like a very bitter green, like broccoli rabe or something like that, but maybe a little bit more bitter. I feel like I ordered a very large portion of this. This is probably something that is meant to be split with a family because that is very, very intense. But it's good. It's good. I feel like it's missing a little something because I'm comparing it to broccoli rabe. Like when I prepare broccoli rabe, I would put like an acid in it, like some lemon juice maybe some Parmesan, something to give a little sharpness to it, and it doesn't have that. So actually I have some lemongrass soup. So I'm gonna put some lemongrass soup in my papaya flowers with a little bit of rice. There it is. The little bit of brightness in there I think helps. I don't know if people eat it that way or not, but I like it that way. Extremely strong. This is a dish that I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm going to eat it slow with a lot of rice. Okay, so I have a haircut somehow. How did that happen? So this restaurant also serves the papaya buds mixed with spinach, and I feel like that is a really good idea because it's so bitter on its own. I feel like eating like a whole bunch of it is a little too intense. But what happens when you mix it with some greens? I like bitter vegetables, so to take some of the papaya buds and mix them with something that is not bitter brings out this like extra layer of flavor to it. Like on its own, it's like it's fine, but it's kind of just like, you know, straight up bitter. When you mix it with spinach, though, it kind of like elevates that flavor, makes it more like a bitter green. And also, the leaves can be eaten. This is something I have not seen anywhere except for where I am right now, which is in the K Islands in Indonesia. It's pretty hard to get to kind of place, but on the menus of a lot of restaurants here, they have the papaya leaves, and when I went to the market earlier, I saw people selling the leaves. So it's pretty interesting. You know, this is a pretty common thing here, but elsewhere, I think a lot of people don't realize that you can eat it. It might take some extra preparation, I'm not too sure, but it is really interesting to see that it can be done. So here's something I didn't know. You can also eat papaya leaves. Apparently it is edible. It should be if it's on the menu. And yeah, look at, it's no getting around it. That is a papaya leaf. They just saute it with garlic. Looks like there's a little sambal in there. And I'm not sure if it is just sauteed or if they have to like do something else to make it edible. So, you know, be careful if you're gonna do this yourself. Maybe you gotta ferment it. Maybe you gotta boil it. I don't know. But what I do know is it's going to taste good. Tastes good. It's a little tough. So you gotta chew a little bit more than you would normally. But flavor is good. It tastes like collard greens. Pretty indistinguishable from that. Maybe it's a little bit less dry. There's a little bit of a juiciness to it. So somewhere between collard greens and like spinach. Something like that. So yeah, the papaya can be used as like 3 different vegetables, a fruit, a spice, a meat tenderizer. There's probably some other stuff too that I'm just not even aware of. Maybe you could eat the stalk. I don't know, probably not.
Ayan, nabiyak na po natin. So, it's good quality po siya. At pure vegetable. Ayan po. Hindi po siya nalalata.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done with the papaya, and that's pretty cool to see. And while I'm here, another thing that they have on the menu that's really interesting is this. This here is cassava, but it's not any cassava. This is bitter cassava. So there are 2 varieties of cassava. I believe it's the same species, but it's different varieties of, I think one is more cultivated than the other. The bitter cassava is more like what you'd find in the wild, and it is very, very, very poisonous. So eating a little bit of raw bitter cassava could actually kill you. It's very, very dangerous. Sweet cassava, that is okay to eat if you boil it first. So you can't eat raw sweet cassava. It'll make you sick. Even if you're going to fry it, you should boil it first to get rid of some of the cyanide compounds that are in it. That's sweet cassava. With bitter cassava, you have to go through a lengthy process to do it. You have to collect it, peel it, soak it for days. This removes some of the toxins and it ferments it a little bit. And then you boil it. And then you can fry it. And I believe this is most typically shredded in the preparation in order to get like all that cyanide out. So I don't think you can get it like in chunks usually. It's either as like a paste or a meal. So the cassava, bitter cassava meal has been made into like a little pancake and then roasted. It feels like I'm eating a piece of dry toast. It's very bready, which is not dissimilar to regular cassava when it's prepared in this kind of way. But with the bitter cassava, I am noticing a little bit of a difference in flavor. It's very, very similar, but there is a little bit of a tartness to it. And I think that tartness is coming from the fermentation process that it goes through. So you get like a little bit of acid, but otherwise pretty much indistinguishable from the regular cassava. And by the way, they have both regular sweet cassava and bitter cassava on the menu. So I think this is maybe a matter of preference, or so they're around the same price. So I don't think it's like one is especially cheaper, at least here. I think some people have a preference for it. Maybe if you go to the markets, it's cheaper to get the bitter stuff. I'm not too sure, but it is a popular ingredient where I am right now. And you see products made with specifically the bitter cassava throughout the area I'm in right now in the K Islands. Not so much elsewhere, but here in the K Islands, I've seen it for sale at markets, like piles of different sorts of crackers and things made with the bitter cassava specifically. So I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. I would like to give a big shout out to Twyla Butler. Twyla is a super patron over on patreon.com. Patreon and YouTube memberships are how I fund these adventures. So Twyla, thank you very much. And to anyone else out there who is interested in supporting the channel and getting some really cool bonuses, one really cool one is I have exclusive videos. So there are over 100 videos that you can only see if you are a member of either Patreon or YouTube membership. So if you're interested, click the link in the description below.